Welcome to part 2 of a guide on custom lightsabers. In the previous video I discussed the 4 main elements that compose a lightsaber prop, and in this video I will discuss the 2 major categories of the hilt. One thing to keep in mind is that the cost of your hilt makes around 40 to 50% of the total cost of your build. The hilt may come in all sorts of shapes and sizes like the standard hilt, the shoto, the double-bladed, and the crossguard to name a few. Anatomically, the hilt is comprised of 4 parts itself, starting from top to bottom: the emitter, the switch section, the main body, and the pommel. The hilt is the essence of the lightsaber and comes in 4 basic finishes: standard, the machined CNC aluminum brush finish, chrome plating, anodized black, and for a more worn look, the weathered finish. There are more intricate finishes out there like powder coating, which I will not be emphasizing on in order to keep things simple for you. With that being said, the hilt is categorized into 2 kinds: custom and inspired. Custom hilts can mean 2 things: a design that's a signature to one's brand, or a design that's unique to an individual completely from scratch. It's not uncommon for saber enthusiasts to machine their very own designs for a hilt. Companies like Saberforge and Ultra Sabers have their own line of custom designs that are a trademark of their own respective brands. Something interesting about Saberforge, and this is a feature that I had yet to see until I saw this on Ultra Sabers as well, is that aside from selling complete hilts, they offer the customer the opportunity to create a hilt of their own by mixing and matching the anatomical components that we mentioned earlier of a hilt. Saberforge also has a website that allows you to simulate the parts that you put together in order to have an idea of what you're building. The combinations are endless and up to your own personal taste, so I suggest that you go give it a look. The next major category of hilts are the inspired hilts, as we call them in the lightsaber community. They are the most easily recognizable hilts due to the striking resemblance to the movies, and since they aren't licensed by Disney or Lucasfilm, they're called inspired. This doesn't make the hilts or their possession illegal, but a hilt that looks like what you've seen on screen won't be named after the character as a licensed Disney product would, but rather they are named in acronyms and initials as a sort of code to let you know who the hilt is inspired from. So it's all a corporate matter. For example, if you see a hilt that is exactly like Vader's, it's highly possible that instead of being called Darth Vader's lightsaber hilt, the marketing name will be kind of coded like the MPP, VDR, or Vader, and so on. Even vintage replicas are considered inspired despite their 100% screen accuracy. Due to their popularity, inspired hilts are marketed widely through the custom lightsaber business, and to the trained eye, each of their iterations bear significant differences from one another. The most popular and famous inspired hilt is the Graflex, or better known as Luke's, not Rey's, lightsaber. I own this very hilt, and it looks to be screen accurate, but the screws and accessories on the hilt give away the fact that it is not. For instance, an original or vintage Graflex replica is exactly used in the movies, has the glass eye that shines through, whereas my replica is made of solid metal. The retention screw on a vintage is a flathead screw, whereas mine is a hex head. But I won't tire you with more tedious details. I believe that you get the idea. I've linked the sites of the companies I know and or worked with below so that you can browse, and I will go over them in detail with you at the end of the series. They all have their perks as well as their drawbacks, but I think it's best left to your own personal opinion. But if you insist on having mine, then I'd prefer that we converse privately on Twitter at TPL723, and I'd gladly advise you on any topic. So, to recap, hilts come in 2 categories: custom and inspired. My question to you is, what kind of lightsaber would you like to own and why? Would it be custom or would it be inspired? Do you want something that is completely of your own design, or do you want to honor a character in the movies by owning a hilt that they have? This covers part 2. And in the next video, we will be exploring the basic anatomy of the electronics within the hilt and their function overall for a lightsaber. This is where things get really interesting. Again, I cannot express my gratitude for your support. I really appreciate it, and if you guys liked what you saw, please consider subscribing as it helps my channel grow for me to bring you content like this again in the future. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day. General Katarn, out.